Evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for visiting us here today. I'm hosting a great team here, the team of Ugandans who are leading the Association of UGAMN. We are very happy to have them, and as they answer some of the questions that you recently asked in Red Wing, Minnesota, we welcome them to first of all give us a status of what is happening in the community. And then they will introduce themselves and we go from there. We will answer all the questions that you pose to them and more. So Mr. Dr. Ivan Chintu, please introduce your team and then we go from there.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. John Motiaba. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We hope everyone is doing okay. Yeah, we are coming live to address some of the concerns and the submissions that we had from our previous Zoom engagement that we had with the community. Here with me, I have almost the entire team. I have Mr. President Elvis Balikalaba, who is our current president. On my far right, I have Mr. Ronnie Sejoba, our treasurer. Mr. Agaba Godfrey in the back over there, our IT director, as well as Mr. Andrew Maganda, our IT expert as well, and Mrs. Patience Kintu, our secretary. Our youth director, Mr. Michael Cheyune, is not here with us today, and as well Mr. Absalom Mochibi, who is our entertainment director. He's not here with us because of some other engagements going on. But we want to thank everyone for joining in and taking time to join to watch this video. We as well have so many people that are doing a lot in the background, including Mrs. Winnie Mutiaba, who is our projects director. So we are going to address some of the concerns that we had from our previous Zoom meeting, and we shall straight go into addressing them right now. And I'll introduce Mr. President to get that kickstart off.
So before Mr. President goes ahead to answer those questions, I have a list of these questions, and thank you very much for providing those. I have been able to review, and I want to go through these questions real quick because I know you guys do not have enough time. The first question here was asked by Jonah from Red Wing. Jonah said that Lydia was introduced to the team in Red Wing, but it turns out that they know and they elected Mr. Owundo to be president of UGAMN. What happened? How did Lydia get introduced when the president was known to be Mr. Ian Owundo?
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. John Motiaba. And just maybe to add more flesh on that, when the president of the National Unity Platform happened to show up in Minnesota, I think that was last year, the team in Red Wing gave us part of the feedback that they were a little disappointed to see Mrs. Lydia Kayongo being introduced as the current president of the Uganda Association of Minnesota, yet they drove all the way to come from Red Wing and they elected Ian Owundo to be the president. So they kind of wanted to know what was going on and what went wrong. Is it even worth wasting time coming to the Twin Cities to vote? So they wanted to get clarification on that. And just to let you know, even the other people that might have such a question, that we weren't able to have Mr. Ian Owundo to be president at that function. So the organizing committee decided to have somebody to represent the face of the community, and that is how Mrs. Lydia Kayongo came in to represent that position, because it's a very crucial position in our community. But otherwise, it is still worth it coming to vote, and we urge you to continue doing the same. This is your community, and your support is really needed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Dr. Chintu. And the next question here that I have came from Dr. Paul Musherure, and he was asking about the logo. We've had a logo that's been around for a long time, and he was wondering why that was changed and that there was some lack of transparency in making those changes. Can someone respond to Dr. Musheruri as to how that came about?
Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Mutiaba, for moderating today's event. Also, thank you, Dr. Musherura, for that question. Now, about the logo, now you'll see that we live in Minnesota, and where it's a neutral state, where it's not like with no political affiliations. So the reason why you see the map in the middle, which is a map of Minnesota, that's because we live in Minnesota, and then it's white to represent the neutrality of everyone and every Ugandan living in Minnesota. And then, because we're all Ugandans, that's why we have the black, red, and yellow other colors to represent us all. Now this logo, the only reason why you view it as a political thing is because maybe it's, you're viewing it in a political perspective of your own party. But this is a neutral logo, and this logo represents everyone that lives in Minnesota. So when you see this logo appearing anywhere, you just know that's your identity. It's identifying everyone living in Minnesota. It has nothing with any political affiliations, just representing that we're all a neutral state.
Thank you very much for the response, Mr. Sejoba. And in fact, I think the logo of NUP, we reviewed it and it looks a little different from what you have for UGAMN. The next question here is from Diana. Diana, she is asking why we removed the previous leadership from a WhatsApp group. She thinks that they should continue to have access, they should continue to be administrators on that group and to provide some continuity there. Why did you find it important to make that change and remove the previous administrators, the previous leadership?
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. John. To answer that, when we took office, we didn't really have much that was handed over to us. So we are just trying to gather everything that belongs to UGAMN from left, right, center. And we are coming up with new initiatives, and as well we are consulting with the previous leadership that has been there before we came, because we know they have been doing a great work, and if it wasn't for them, probably UGAMN would be somewhere, or it would have even undergone extinction. But we want to appreciate them for the work well done. And on top of that, we are also coming up with new ideas, and we are trying to add something to what they have left behind. So part of the conversation that we've had with the previous leaderships, they all agree and they have advised us actually that for the platform, which is, to be specific, the updates platform, that was created in the interest of the community, and it is incumbent. The idea was the current leadership should be using that to push the agenda that belong to the Uganda Association of Minnesota and the affiliated NGOs that they work with. So, and the idea was, again, that the current leadership should be in control of that WhatsApp group, and not only that, but rather even the other social media platforms and everything that belongs to the Uganda Association of Minnesota. We are starting that, and after we leave office, the current leadership that will come after we've gone, they will be the current administrators, in that they find it smooth to be able to go about the business and also to put the communications out there that the community needs and the ones that they think they are in the best interest of the community. So we are the current administrators, but after we leave, we shall hand that over. The other concern was as well that we consult and we've got lots of ideas from elders and people who have lived here for long. And some of them, actually, if I would say most of them, they agree with that, and we are just implementing what the ideas and what their suggestions are. Thank you.
Thank you very much again, Dr. Chintu. And the next question comes from Miss Latifa Chiribedda. She had a concern that you have not done enough due diligence, that you're going about hijacking programs. For example, she mentioned the boat, which you are hosting. You are also holding a boat ride. At the same time, another group that she is with is also doing a boat. You have the insurance program. She thinks that those programs don't belong to UGAMN, and she doesn't know why you didn't do enough due diligence to figure out that you should not have tried to hijack those programs. Who's going to answer that question?
I think I can answer that. All right. Good evening, community. We are here for one thing, nothing but the truth, and the truth shall set you free. And let's just start by one saying that we are the Uganda Association of Minnesota. This association is registered with the state of Minnesota. It was registered on May 30th, 1996. That's how old this association is. It's in 1996. That's when it started in the state of Minnesota as a non-profit corporation. Yeah, it's a domestic. And as of today, it is not registered as a 501c. UGAMN was registered some time back, and then it lost its registration in 2021. Since then, it wasn't registered. So we are trying to go ahead to register it so we can move on and do good community funding and lobbying drives, so we can get donations, and when you guys also give to the community, you are able to deduct it on your taxes. So, answering the question that we are hijacking or taking initiatives that are not ours. Let me start with the insurance. You all remember that we were one time at my house at a place which was supposed to be a handover. At that place, during the handover, I personally raised the question to the previous leaders. There was a vice president and a previous president from the other 4 years ago, and both were there. I raised the question, does the insurance belong to UGAMN? And they said, yes, the insurance belongs to UGAMN and it's ours. And one of the leaders said, she's tired of investing in her money because Ugandans don't pay her enough. I personally and the team chose our own youth representative, who is also a member of the insurance, a subscriber to the insurance, to be the lead team on the insurance from the UGAMN. But then, to our surprise, the previous leaders said out in the community that we hijacked insurance. No, they told us we are in charge of this insurance. And when we started, we brought the insurance premium, we brought the insurance, he was the guy who started this insurance. So we wanted these guys to teach us about the insurance. So we brought these guys to talk about the insurance. That's when problems started, and they said, no, this insurance is not ours. The insurance broker whom we brought told us himself we should continue with the old regime, but we told him no. For the continuity of the community, insurance should be a continuity and a program of the community. So UGAMN is going to stop supporting that insurance. Why? Because it was taken over by a private entity. So if a private entity takes over an association's program, we as the association representatives are not going to fight that. What are we going to do about insurance? I was in Michigan and I talked to the UNA president. I talked to Miss Wamara, the previous UNA president. I talked to Lambert Etibot, the current president. I talked to Chantel, and I talked to the insurance representatives. I found a repatriation insurance, which is good. That repatriation insurance in UNA, you only pay $150 a year, and you get a benefit of $20,000. You don't need to be a citizen. All you need is to have your name, and that's it, from the ages of 19 to 100 years. It does not reduce whether you're 77, whether you're 80, whether you're 90, whether you're 19. Your premium benefit if you die is $20,000. I found it a good insurance for us. And number two, why do we go with that insurance? There will be no more discussion whether there is a current president, whether the previous president left with insurance. This insurance is ours, and you are able to call UNA. UNA has a 1-800 number. It is always there, and hands over its leadership in a good manner, whereby no one takes the assets of an association with them. So that's the insurance we bring in. I have received the flyers about it. We are going to teach about it, and we are going to come to the community to introduce it to you. When we leave that insurance, you will just pick a call at night and call UNA and be like, I'm from Minnesota chapter, and I'm calling about insurance, and that insurance is there. So we are not hijacking insurance. I checked with Hartford. The insurance you say we hijacked, actually, the insurance beneficiary is Uganda Association of Minnesota. But we shall go to Hartford, and we are going to cancel our association from that insurance. So if you hold that insurance, we are letting you know we are going to cancel it, and we are going to join UNA. With this association, we join UNA Insurance for the benefit and betterment that when a leader comes on and leaves, that insurance is always available and they don't need to be disturbed. Thank you so much on that. The other thing, Dr. Mutiaba, you mentioned the bot, correct?
Yes.
Let's talk about the bot. All these problems are caused by handover. If you do not hand over as a previous leaders and hand over to the current leadership, the problems that you cause these issues where all assets of the association are distributed within different people and no one brings them back. If you don't bring back the assets of the community, then what are you handing over? No one hands over and then takes the part of the association with them. No, then that is not handover. We had an inadequate handover, and this has impacted the community day-to-day office activities. One, the tools of administration were not given to us in full. That's why we had to come up with a new website, because those that have the tools of the website could not hand them over. However much we paid money, we did everything, consulted, wrote emails. Every president was copied in these emails. Nothing. It couldn't yield. The gains and losses, achievement, the work in progress, those are the things you hand over. If there is something achieved, hand it over. Any dreams, what are the goals? We were not able to hand over, to get the handover. The contacts, what are the contacts that UGAMN as an association has? We even don't know how many Ugandans we have, because every administration takes the contacts with them. They don't hand you over the things, and they tell you, find your own things. Find them by yourself. So we, as the new association leaders, we are going to hand over this in one tool, in one spot. Okay? So, what other thing did we find? Why is handover a necessary thing? For continuity purposes, we shall live and others will come, new generations come. For continuity, we hand over, and when you hand over, you kind of propel progress of a community, growth of a community, and this formula has been it's a proven concept. Or proper handover is a proven concept for progress and growth of any community, association, any entity, or any company. That is like that. So now, let's move on to the board. I have gone to the Ugandan board, and all along, we knew this was a Uganda Association board. I am asking you a question. Did you know that this board that we've been going to was not for Uganda Association of Minnesota? Answer yourself on that question. Everyone was going to this board. It has been arranged by previous leaders, and it had the logo of a Uganda Association. So we thought it's for the Uganda Association. What happened? We went to the board, arrived at the board place. We introduced ourselves. I think it was you, me, you were there too, right? This team here was there. In Stillwater. We went to ask. We always arrange a board here. Can we have receipts? Or can you show us the receipts that pertain to our association? When the representative of the board came out, he said, the receipts we have here have a UGAMN logo and a UGAMN name. We told him, no, we want the Uganda Association name. He told us, no, that board has been organized here under the name of UGAMN. So what did we do as the association? We said, okay, now change this name, put it under the Uganda Association of Minnesota, because we cannot have receipts for a different entity for which we don't represent. We must represent our entity as the Uganda Association because we are accountable to the people in Minnesota who are Ugandans. Good enough, the representative changed the name to Uganda Association. We didn't end there. He made the call to the UGAMN leadership. We told them that the board we found here is under UGAMN, which has been always which has been putting out a board in advert as a Uganda Association of Minnesota. We've gone to this board as Ugandans, hoping it's for the association. What did she tell us? She told us, if you've changed the name to Uganda Association, please, I don't know about that, but I've consulted my women and they said, you do the board. I remember we were on the phone call and it was on loudspeaker and we asked, can you ladies do it? And we don't mind as long as the name and the receipt is Uganda Association of Minnesota. She said, let me consult. When she came back, we were told that the women have refused. And they said, we go ahead and organize the board. I came on a table where there's a time we had a meeting somewhere at a table talk, something like that in Coon Rapids. I asked the leadership of women, you guys, what about this board? And I was told, we moved on with this board issue. You guys go ahead with your board. I was there as the president. I was the last man to leave at that event in Coon Rapids. And I was told that. So, this narrative going out there that we did not ask the women, we did not do this, oh, we are stealing the board. No, the truth shall set you free. I am too old to lie, and these guys are too young for us to lie to them, because I think we should tell the truth. We told them, they failed, and we went on with organizing the board. So we reached out to them. Everyone organizes an activity under a receipt. We need a receipt to show the community. Also, we need a receipt to show at least that we are doing some activities for you, the community. If we don't have these activities, community, there is no way we can solicit funding for you. The reason we are doing the boat, we are doing these other activities, left and right, we need to show donors that these are the activities we do for the community. And if we show donors, then we need to ask for some donations. Who will donate to you if you don't have activities? So every entity has a right to organize a boat, whether it's a private or it's a community boat. In fact, these people, my VP was telling me that the Marinos used to organize a boat before. So anyone can organize a boat. All I'm saying is, tell us what you're doing so that we don't conflict with your schedule, and you're okay to organize a boat, but do not organize stuff under the disguise of Uganda Association of Minnesota. It used to be then, but now the able people are here, and give them a chance. Let them organize. We need receipts to show that we are doing something. Even them, they need receipts. When you pay for the Uganda Association boat, the receipt comes to you from UGAMN. When you pay for a private entity, you are paying a private entity. You are not paying it to UGAMN. We are accountable only to the money that is paid to the Uganda Association. If you pay into a private entity, we are not accountable and we are not responsible. We can't give accountability to that money or to that event you went to, but it's okay to support that event. So support our events as you can, but we ask you, support community events, because we need those receipts. We need to show those activities. In order for me, I went to Ford in Michigan, in Detroit. When we were there, they wanted me to show activities that we do for the community. But guess what? If I don't have them, I don't have receipts, I can't get you donations. I need donors out there. I'm lobbying for the community. So you can buy land, you can buy a building, you can farm. All this lobbying will need us to show what we are doing for you. So support our activities, because it's the only way we are able to raise money for funding. Funding, and it comes through activities, community activities. That's why we disassociated ourselves, but that's why we have the problems of the boat. The boat came around, they refused to work with us, they came back in April and restarted the boat, and we are fine with it, but community boat will move on the 29th. Please come and support it, be part of it. Every proceeds that we get will come in your account, and every money we shall come back and tell you that this is your money, thanks for paying, and that money is deductible on your taxes. So that's the purpose of the boat. Be a community person, be a community member, come to the boat, we support you, and we shall be there for you. Thank you so much, Dr. Mutiaba. Unless otherwise, any one of you has anything to add on?
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. President. I think most has been said. But again, we just want to urge you, community, to support your own community. When you come to the Uganda Association of Minnesota boat cruise or any other activity, you are supporting not only even us, because for us we are just leading, but you are supporting actually yourself and your own community, and we are accountable to you. So far we have put an accountability out there on the social media platforms. I hope most of you have seen it. We shall continue to do so, because our values and morals that we stand for is accountability and transparency. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much for those responses. We really appreciate you getting back to the people. Now, I think I do only have two more comments here. One is more like an advice. Someone is advising you, and that's Jessica. She says that you should put politics outside of UGAMN leadership. She says that you should approach the women group and all other groups and make sure that you work together as well. And she also says that that logo that you created looks more like a Nuke logo, so that you should change it. Then Silas, final question, final comment. I don't know if I should. They look similar, so I'll put them together, and those will be our last questions or comments tonight. We have Silas also saying that we have two groups fighting. You know, women. He says that women should let the new leadership take charge, and do its. UGAMN leadership should do its responsibilities without much interruption. So those are two comments there. I don't know if one person or two people will take care of those.
Can you repeat the first one?
The first one was put politics out of leadership.
Okay, let me answer the politics part of it. Minnesotans, Ugandans in Minnesota. We are here, we live in Minnesota. We came to this state, we found it blue. This state is blue. So, the governor is also a Democrat. And guess what? We do have an African representative in the Senate, in the House of Representatives. She's an African. She's a Democrat. We live here. We found this place as blue as it is, and elections are coming here. So, I urge you, you have two options. Either a Democrat, who is a blue state, or a Republican, which is red. The colors are just blue or red. So, politics, we didn't bring it here to Minnesota. We found it here in Minnesota, and it is here. You're blue or you're red. And that's how it is. We didn't bring anything. We shall live here when Minnesota is still a state which is blue. And when you go to vote, you have two options. You'll either have a Republican, which is red, or a Democrat, which is blue. So whoever thinks we are here to bring politics, we are very sorry. We are here to serve accountability and service. That's what we stand for, and we are going to serve a Ugandan community in Minnesota, whether Democrat, whether Republican, whether green, whether red, whether yellow, anything, be it man, old, woman, young, tall and short. We are here to serve, and that's what we represent. Anything beyond that we don't represent, we shall tell you we don't represent that. Accountability and service. That's why we are here. Thank you.
And thank you very much, Mr. President. Also, comment on, there was someone who commented on the cultural gala that took place here recently. I don't know.
Yeah. So we happened to have a cultural gala that went on in our community a couple of weeks back, and it took place at the Landmark Center, and people were approaching us asking for accountability and how everything went on. And just to give the community a brief background of what went on, we normally have calls as the committee. We are normally discussing and trying to bring ideas and calling different people to see what they think and what they to see what is best for the community. So we were on a call and we received another call from one of the women leaders, and she told us about this project at the Landmark Center that was happening, and she was honest that it was offered to the women group, but again she went ahead and told us that as the women group, they don't really have anything that they are going to exhibit out there to show off the Ugandan culture and the tradition, and they were planning not to attend and not to have that event in their programs. But she was inquiring whether we as the Uganda Association of Minnesota leadership, we have maybe something, or if we can be able to put up something to represent Uganda at that event. Normally it happens at the Landmark Center in downtown St. Paul. Different countries from all over the world come to exhibit their culture and their values, music and stuff. So this time around it was Kenya, Sudan and Uganda. So we were like, okay, we brainstormed and then came up with something. We came up with musicians and different activities, our culture wares and everything. So we jumped on it, in other words, on a short notice. Though we didn't really dig deep into to know what are the terms and conditions, what is it all about, how often does it happen. So we kind of gotten onto our weather, and then we said we shall find out more as we move on. So we were able to organize successfully until the last day or two, whereby things turned around when we went to the Landmark Center to just check out on the venue. And our musician wanted to see how the place is organized and if he needs to bring like more musical instruments and everything. So that's when we realized that actually there was a contract that was signed, and that contract was under the names of the East African Diaspora Community. That was the person who had the contract, and all the fundings that were there. The person who owns the East African Diaspora Community was in charge of everything and distributing the proceedings and everything. So when we asked about that, the ladies gave us that response that go to this person. They will tell you everything about this. We don't know about you guys. We were like, you don't need to know about us because in the first place, it was so and so who reached out to us, who is one of the women representative, and we are coming in that category. So after inquiring and digging deep, we were able to get the contract, to see it, and they gave it to us as well, the organizers of the event. And we were informed by the person who had the contract that this is a women thing. We don't know you. Where are you coming from? How comes you are getting engaged in this? We gave him the background of, okay, so and so told us. We jumped on it. She told us as the women, they have nothing to present. So we went on and took on the project. That is why you are seeing us here, because we wanted to know whether there is time paid for the artists that we wanted to bring on board, because we wanted to make it colorful like always we do. And so there was some kind of disorganization, and we ended up not having like the musicians coming because they were like, oh, you guys are very disorganized, I cannot be part of that. And so things tended to turn around, but we were able to hold what we could together, and we were able to put up what we would say was a successful show. But if you want to know about the accountability, if you want to know about the contract and everything, it is not the Uganda Association of Minnesota. We were blindfolded. If I could say, we jumped on something which we hadn't really dug deep into. And if you have any questions, it's going to be directed to the women group leadership, as well as the leaders of the East African Diaspora Committee, known to us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Chintu. And to you all, the leadership of UGAMN, we really appreciate you. We know you have done a lot in this short term that you have been in office. You've been reaching out to different sections of our community. I know the president went with us to Michigan, and that was Kabaka Foundation. The president also has been in so many areas. I see you all in Red Wing. I saw you in Red Wing last weekend, I think. All these things that you do are not taken lightly. We do appreciate you so much, and we hope you continue to serve your community without any favors, without any political inclination. We want, like Jessica said, I mean, that's absolutely right. We want politics out of UGAMN, and so we will keep it that way. So thank you so much. Let's keep up the spirit that you have started, and yeah, the sky is the limit.
Can we have one more thing?
Yes, please.
We have membership, guys. Please visit our website. We have this membership which has been carved together we did research about the membership. We did research from Boston, we did research from Ohio, we researched on Chicago, and we put together a good membership package. So please, that membership of ours is $80 an individual. It's on a sliding scale. The more children you have, the more family you have, and your membership is going to start up something. We want to have a membership drive for a cause of buying ourselves either land or contributing to a building or something for UGAMN, something tangible that you can see. So pay your membership, and we are going to start a list of members who paid. So you'll be looking in the update. If you pay your membership, we are going to put your name there. So the list will be going on who has paid membership, and it's okay to showcase your name, okay? And also, don't forget the boat. We are showcasing Ugandan talent. Ugandan talent is on that boat. Come, support the talent of Ugandans in the diaspora. There were 2 singers, Taylor Watts and Caritas Cario. Thank you so much. God bless you. We love you, and we are here to serve you.
And see you on the boat on the 29th of June. 29th of June.
Nothing more to add. Thank you, and have a safe drive home.
Thank you.
We appreciate you. Take care.